So what happens when you combine one of the great audio equipment companies out there with another company that knows everything that streamers need? Well, you end up with the Elgato Wave 3 condenser microphone. This is a USB microphone, and I really think you're going to be impressed by this if you haven't already heard about it. TLDR, I really love this microphone a lot. So I want to show you what I like about this microphone. Also show you some things I think they can improve upon, because right now the software is really geared for single PC live streaming, but I'm going to show you a workaround that works really well. So if you're interested in that, then stay tuned. Now, full disclosure, I want to thank Elgato for sending me this microphone and giving me the opportunity to review it. Now, they did give this to me for free. I will still give you my unbiased review of this microphone because I want you to know exactly what I think they need to improve upon. And there's a few things that needs to be upgraded, but there's not a lot. This is a fantastic sounding microphone, a well-built microphone, and I think with what they give you, it is quite possibly the most versatile microphone out there. So again, stay tuned if you're interested in hearing what I have to say about the Elgato Wave 3. All right, so let's talk about what you get when you get the Wave 3 in the box. First of all, by itself, the Wave 3 comes, of course, with this microphone and a desktop stand. And then sold separately, you get this pop filter, which I was fortunate enough that Elgato sent me. And then you also get this shock mount, again, sold separately. This is actually a great idea if you do plan on using a boom arm to go ahead and get this, because number one, it provides the shock mount capability, and number two, it adds a little bit of extra weight, because by itself on some boom arms you could have an issue with just the Wave 3 because it is somewhat light for a broadcast microphone. For instance, my boom arm can hold about 4 pounds of microphone. So it has a lot of spring tension. So by itself, this can ride up a little bit and not stay down all the time. So I've noticed people that's had like the Rode PSA 1 and the Blue boom arm that have similar issues where they need extra weight. Well, this shock mount will give you that. So it's really nice. Also, you do get this adapter so that you can mount this to a boom arm without having the shock mount, which is really nice. And what's really nice too is with this pop filter is you don't need the shock mount. The pop filter will mount directly to the microphone. So if you want to save a little bit of money. And what's great about this pop filter too is that it doesn't require any screws. It's magnetic and it fits just quite well right here on the microphone. As you can see, I can shake this thing all day long and not have any issues. It's not going to come off. So it's a really well-designed layout with everything that they included with this. All right, so now let's talk about the layout of the microphone. You do have a knob here. This is a multifunction knob that both presses and turns right and left. It has a tactile feel to it. It's very solid. It does move around a little bit, but nothing that I feel like would cause it to break. And then here on the back, you have both USB-C and your headphone input. Now this does provide zero latency monitoring for your vocal, and it also provides playback audio from your computer, both Mac, PC, and now this also works on PS4, if you did not know that, which is really nice. So you have three main functions that you can control on the mic, and this is something you're really not going to do a lot, but for initial setup, you can do that. And the first one right here is your gain, which you can, again, turn. If you press the button in again, then it'll switch to the middle one, which is your headphone volume. And then you press the button again to the third one, which is your stream mix. And you can control the mix there for your playback audio coming into your microphone. On the top, which is a really great thing here, is you have a capacitive mute button. So it's not really a button. You just basically touch it and it will mute and unmute your microphone. No sound whatsoever, no click into the vocal. It's really nice and clean. Now, this will make noise on your microphone, this button. And that's why I said you may not want to play with it a lot. I would rather adjust anything in the software once I get this initially set up, because this does make noise when you're playing around with it. But overall, a very nice, handy microphone with a lot of controls right there built in, which is really nice. Okay, so this microphone is a USB cardioid condenser broadcast style microphone. It goes up to 96 kilohertz sample rate and a bit depth of 24-bit, which is really nice and quality. Now the Wave 1 goes up to 48 kilohertz. That's one of the big differences between these two microphones. Also, the Wave 1 does not have full controls on here, but I think the latest software release that they came out with Wavelink, they updated the firmware. I believe the Wave 1 also now has headphone control, if I'm not mistaken. Before, it only did gain. So anyway, the verdict's out on that. Like I said, this is the Wave 3. It comes with full controls on everything. But again, if you're looking for a microphone for podcasting or doing maybe some voiceovers and you need that extra sample rate, then the Wave 3 is going to give you that 96 kilohertz, which is really nice. All right, so the desktop stand's pretty good. It's nice, really heavy. The base of this is actually made of metal and it's quite dense, has a lot of weight to it. The U bracket is not. Okay, the U bracket is plastic. You can see it flexes a lot. Do I think it'll break on? Again, you're not going to be messing with this a whole lot. If you drop it, yeah, there's a possibility you could break this. It does have these little rubber grommets that kind of gives you some amount of shock mounting for this U bracket. All right, so now let's go ahead and switch over to the Wave 3 audio, and I'll show you just how versatile this is with its software Wavelink. Okay, so this is the Wave 3's audio. Now, this is unfiltered. I might do some post-processing, adding just a little bit of gain to get the levels right. But other than that, this is going to be unfiltered, no extra effects or anything. I want to focus on the microphone sound. And what I have come to the conclusion of in the last couple of weeks of using this is that I think that overall, the microphone sounds really good for spoken word vocals. It is designed for live streamers, so it's there to enhance your vocals. So it has a roll off of around 70 hertz, which cuts out a lot of the low end, that you don't want really in your vocal anyway. Most vocals tend to be, around 70 hertz and up from that, and even females are even higher than 70 hertz, probably somewhere around 150 hertz before they really have get really strong in the frequency spectrum. So the microphone's focused right. I think it's tuned definitely for spoken word. I love the look of the microphone. It definitely looks like a Lewitt microphone. There's a line of microphones that Lewitt makes that, looks very similar. They even have a similar looking shock mount, and, the engineering that Elgato partnered with Lewis with, you see it in this microphone. So the Wave 3, I think it sounds great. I think it looks great. It's not overly gaudy or anything like that. I mean, this is kind of what I like. I like a nice, sleek, clean looking microphone. I like that it is intelligible in the high end. There's a lot of presence. It's nice and crisp. It's not overboard. It doesn't sound too harsh. But overall you can't beat it. I really like the sound of this microphone, and I think it'll work great for a live streamer. I don't really think that you don't need a whole lot of processing to even make this microphone sound much better. I really think that it's there. Now, if you really want more of that low end that, you would hear from a radio voice, you might want to add some compression. You might want to EQ the low end a little bit to enhance some more low end if that's what you like. But I think for my voice, because I have, a fair amount of low end on my voice anyway, that I think that this microphone sounds just fine. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the audio quality of this microphone. And of course, like I said, you can't beat the looks of it. I think it looks fantastic. All right, so now let's take a look at Wavelink, and I will show you everything that it does to really complement an already great sounding and looking microphone. Okay, so this is Wavelink. Wavelink is basically a virtual mixer. Probably the easiest to understand virtual mixer I have seen. So kudos to Elgato for coming up with this idea, because it is really a simple thing to grasp, and it really does a lot to help your live stream audio sound more professional. So let's go through Wavelink real quick, and we'll show you how it works. So Wavelink is basically set up into two sections. You have your inputs, which also includes the settings for your various channels, and then you have the outputs, which are two mixes. One for your headphones and the other is your stream mix. And you can control each of those mixes for each of your individual inputs with these sliders. What is neat about these sliders is, number one, of course, you can operate them independently, or if you can link them together by clicking on this little chain link icon, and then they operate together, and they operate proportionally. So if I were to link them up, they would maintain that proportion depending on how you have them set. Personally, I'd like to use them unlinked. You can also mute each individual channel from the mix by clicking on the little icons here. And then, of course, you can get to the settings for each of the individual channels. Now here, this is the Wavelink microphone settings. So there's some additional settings here that you would not normally have in the other channels. And here, the latest version of this adds a couple different features. So LED direction, you can flip this or inverse it. So if you're one of those people that likes to have your microphone upside down, you can inverse LED direction so it's oriented properly. So when you're cutting things up and down, it moves right and left properly. You can control the input gain of your microphone right here by this slider, which is also, you can do on the microphone yourself. But a lot of people might prefer to do this because the button on the microphone itself is a little bit noisy and will come into your audio as a click. Your output volume for your headphone jack is here, and then of course you also have the mix, which is you can go either all the way for your mic or all the way to PC, or you can split it halfway between. And you can also do this on the microphone too for the Wave 3. A Wave 1 does not have these functions on the microphone, so you would have to do them here. Okay, then down and below you have audio enhancements, and you have three options here right now, and that is enhanced low cut filter, which is an even greater low cut filter than what you normally have. The frequency response, of course, at the low end for this microphone is 70 hertz. This low cut gives an even greater low pass filter, or high pass filter actually is what it would be. And then clip guard here is a neat little feature, and this is one of the main points that Elgato wanted to advertise with this microphone, is in that with clip guard, even regardless of what you really have your gain set to, it is extremely difficult using clip guard to actually have clipping on your microphone, which is this distorted sound that really does not sound really good. I mean, it's not pleasant at all, and you don't want clipping on your microphone. Well, clip guard helps out with that a lot. So it's a really neat little feature, and it does work quite well. And last, we have Wave Gain Lock. Now, Wave Gain Lock locks the gain of your microphone so that other programs like Skype, for instance, can't go and change it, which is a really nice feature. Glad they added this one, and I would recommend you definitely keep this one enabled. All right, so you have up to 9 channels of audio that you can select in here. And what Elgato has done is they have made virtual devices that Windows can then use to route audio to from different pieces of software. So if you want to look at all of these, you just click on the plus sign, and it gives you a selection of all of the different audio inputs that you can make. So I'm going to add a few here. So I've got system here. I'm going to do browser. I will do music, voice chat, and then I will do game. And this is mainly what most people will probably use for their stream mix. Now, this takes advantage of Windows 10's audio routing capabilities. And there's a couple ways that you can get to it the old way, by going and right-clicking and going to open sound settings. And then down at the bottom under advanced sound options, you have app, volume, and device preferences. Or, well, Elgato has made it really easy for you. You can just click on this icon in the upper right corner of Wavelink, and it'll send you directly there. And here is where you can send programs to the different virtual devices that Elgato has made for you. So here I have my Spotify going to Wavelink Music. I have Discord going to voice chat. And, like game audio, I would select to either go to Wavelink System or to game, depending on what kind of game it is. And I'll talk a little bit about what I mean by that here in a little bit. But you have those options, and then that gives you exclusive control of the volume within the mix that you can set for your monitoring for your headphones and for your stream mix. So your monitor mix for your headphones, of course, this is what's coming out of the microphone itself that you can listen to here. And then the stream mix is what you're actually going to send to your broadcast software. So in OBS, you have mixing capability there, but you don't have to worry about that now, because Elgato, in Wavelink, that's where you're going to do all your mixing. Here, you're just simply going to send the audio feed straight to your broadcast software now. Makes it really easy to control. that is really Wavelink in a nutshell. A couple things that I did not show you is that you can also add your own inputs. Any input that Windows recognizes as an audio input, such as another microphone, for example, a capture card, a cam link, some kind of camera interface, you can actually add those separately. In this case here, this is a virtual audio cable that I have that I can patch to a piece of software if I wanted to for additional input. So you're not only locked to the audio inputs that Elgato provides, but any Windows audio device you can use in here, which is really neat. And then, of course, what I like here is you have the capability to monitor both your audio mix in your headphones, or you can select your stream mix. And this is really nice because now you can actually mix your stream before you go live right here inside of Wavelink, and you don't have to worry about trying to do it through OBS and listening to either a recording or going live and trying to mix it there. So yeah, it's really nice, and it makes it, just makes it really easy to be prepared so that when you go live, you can concentrate on your viewers, concentrate on your content, and not have to worry about how things sound. One of the things I didn't talk about before that I really think you should know about is, like all Elgato things that they make, it comes integrated with Stream Deck. Stream Deck functionality is really neat, and what I recommend you do is before you go and try to set Stream Deck up with Wavelink, get everything set up in Wavelink first, the way that you want it, and then when you go into Stream Deck and you can go ahead and set up profiles, it'll automatically select and put in icons for all of your different sound settings that you have in Wavelink. So you can control each of the inputs and outputs directly on Stream Deck. It's really nice. You don't even have it. It's almost hands off. It's ridiculously how easy it is to set up Wavelink inside of Stream Deck. It's a nice little feature that will allow gamers that are doing full screen games on a single PC to still be able to control Wavelink without having to go and do all tabbing. And you know how that goes with some games. It crashes. You have Stream Deck there that you can control everything really easily. It's nice. So yeah, good job on Elgato for doing that too. All right, so let's go ahead and close this out, and let's talk about what I like and what I think can be improved upon with the Wave 3/Wavelink. First of all, the Wave 3, there really isn't a lot more that I can say about this microphone. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love this microphone. It's built well. The accessories that come with it are really nice, fit well. I love the look of the mic. Some people may not like the look of the mic. Personally, I love it. I like the slim line. I love the color. I love the fact that it's not super gaudy. It doesn't have a lot of RGB on it. That's that you don't really need. I like the fact that it's very simple in design, but very functional at the same time. As far as the aesthetics goes, it's very simple in design anyway. I like that professional look. I think the shock mount is fantastic, a really well-built shock mount. You'll be surprised at how well-built it is when you get one, if you get one. The pop filter, I really enjoy that. I think it's another well-designed pop filter, fits perfectly on the microphone. I really like the capacitive mute. It's a great way to use a mute button, no sound whatsoever. Now, let's talk about the button real quick. The button, while the button feels great, it works great. I like the tactile feel of it. It does make sound when you press it, and you will hear it through the microphone. So you have to be aware of that when you're changing the volume and you're clicking it to change the function. But other than that, sound quality wise, I mean, I have to rate the microphone way up there. I mean, I'm talking like 9 out of 10. I really think this microphone sounds so good. You could tell that Lewitt went in and engineered a great microphone for Elgato. And then Elgato's just put their own touch on it with Wavelink and just giving you the most functional streaming microphone out there, in my opinion. I think for $150, $120, or $130 to $160, you're getting a microphone that will do absolutely everything that you'll want it to do for your live stream, including mixing. I mean, it's just really nice. A lot of people are looking at buying a $100, $150 microphone, XLR cables, going into an audio interface, or even better, a Go XLR, which can cost you upwards of $500 if you get the big one. the Wave 3 gives you all that functionality, minus, doing some effects for your voice, which you can, buy software for $10 and do that. So, I really think that the value is there for the Wave 3, especially the quality of the microphone that you're getting. It really is. It's a fantastic buy. It has everything that you would want built into the microphone. Wavelink is beautifully designed. It's intuitive. It just makes sense when you see it. It's easy to use. People don't feel overwhelmed when they look at it, as opposed to a piece of software like Voicemeeter, where people have looked at videos for hours on end and still don't understand how it works. You can take 5 minutes, watch a little how-to on how to use Wavelink, and you're off and running. And that is a great testament to how Elgato has wanted to build a piece of software for people that, are just streamers. They're not audio engineers. And, most streamers are not audio engineers. So they need something simple, easy to use, that's functional, and gets a nice sounding mix for your live stream. And that's what Wavelink does for you. I really can't say much more about it. Now, there's a couple things about it that I think need to be improved on. One of the things I had mentioned earlier is about the gaming. Your games, they have to get certain games fixed so that when the Windows, they have to get the game issue fixed so that, when you're routing a game to the game virtual device, that it still works fine. And, it won't shut down every time you shut the game down. It's, that's a big hassle. And I know that they are working on that. So hopefully we'll see a fix with that soon. Another thing that I would like to see is I would like to see dual PC functionality. Right now, the only way you can get this to work on dual PC is a couple workarounds. What I'm going to show you after the review is I'm going to show you how to set up Wavelink for dual PC. So if you are interested in that, then you need to continue watching after I close out the video. And that's going to be a little tutorial on the end of this for you dual PC people that are still interested in this microphone, because you can do it for free. And I'm going to show you how it's super easy to do. And I'll give you what I think is the best way to set it up. But we need NDI. And that's really, I think, what the answer is, because it's a free protocol. Elgato is already using NDI. They're using it in their new webcam for iPhone. I will show you that here soon. I have a video that's coming out on that, but they already are using NDI. So they can get the NDI protocol, they can integrate it into Wavelink, and then you can get audio patch from one PC to another over your network. Simple to do. I will show you how to do it with NDI with another third-party tool, but it works fantastic, trust me. And so I think the NDI would be a great option inside of Wavelink. Lastly, we need some sort of processing effects inside of Wavelink, like compression, parametric EQ, noise suppression, especially now with AI-based noise suppression. I would love to see an AI-based noise suppression added to Wavelink. It would be fantastic. Something like the RN noise that they've added inside of OBS Studio, or even RTX Voice, if you can get that functionality, which that is now available for people to be able to add into their own softwares. Either or would be fine, but I'd love to see those kind of things added to Wavelink to make your microphone sound even better than it already does. Or if they wanted to go another route, they could add VST plugin functionality where you can add your own plugins. Plenty of free plugins out there, including LN Noise, which is a VST plugin that you can add that is an AI-based noise suppression and works fantastic. I wanted to make a point. So with Stream Deck, when Stream Deck first came out, there was a lot of functionality that people were wanting that was missing because it was new software. But over time, the software has matured to what we have today. If you're to compare both of them, there's just a night and day difference with the amount of functionality that Stream Deck now has. That's kind of what I'm expecting with Wavelink. Elgato is just really good about going and just adding features to their software and just making it better and better and adding continued support over the years. And so I'm expecting that with Wavelink. There's no reason why they wouldn't. Their wave microphones are fantastic, and they can make Wavelink even better than it already is. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for, and that's why I kind of mentioned those few things I think that I would like to see added in there for better functionality. But I know that Elgato, they are known to support their software and to make it even better as it matures in age and functionality. And the community provides some great inputs on things that they would like to add, and Elgato always has a listening ear for that, so it's awesome. But other than that, I really can't think of anything else, guys. I mean, it is a fantastic microphone, and just can't recommend anything else right now. I really can't. If you're a live streamer and you're looking for that upgraded microphone and you're looking for functionality, I don't think you can look any further than the Wave mic. Now, the difference between Wave 1 and Wave 3, you're talking a $30 difference. If you can get away with not having the additional controls on the microphone, go with Wave 1. It's $130. They both sound fantastic. And for live streaming, do you really need the 96 kilohertz? No, not really. 48 kilohertz is perfectly fine for live streaming. So, if you're interested in that, save $30, get the Wave 1. You still get the same functionality. You just use it through the software. So yeah, Wave 1 is fantastic. Wave 3 is fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed using this mic, and I'm keeping it. I just, I want to use the Wavelink, and I want to do more tutorials with it. I'm very pleased with the sound, and I just appreciate the stability of Wavelink as opposed to using Voicemeeter, which can sometimes be finicky. Let's be honest. I've been using Voicemeeter for a long time, and I'll continue to still use it for various things, but having a Wavelink has really been nice. It's been super easy to be able to just go right in and not have to worry about having to make sure my audio is working. It just works. So yeah, very happy with everything. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so that you'll know when I have a video goes live. Other than that, thank you for watching again. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later.